Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. It's Caleb here with Indiana Storm Chasing Network, Indiana Weather Online. We have our first severe thunderstorm warning of the afternoon on these pop-up showers and thunderstorms across the state of Indiana. This one here in Jefferson County, Indiana, just went severe with our first severe thunderstorm warning. Does expire in 27 minutes for quarter-size hail, 60 miles per hour. It is moving off to the north and northeast at 20 miles per hour. Just to the north of Madison, Indiana, just north of the Ohio River, moving towards the China area and Canaan area here over the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. Widespread severe weather, not expected today, but we did put out the risk today for isolated strong to locally severe thunderstorms here today. Primary risk, hail and damaging winds here today. Currently the... There we go. Now you guys can see me. Yeah, widespread severe weather, not expected here today, but we do have enough instability and enough ingredients to where we could have isolated strong to locally severe thunderstorms here today. And this one is no exception here in Jefferson County, Indiana. What's limiting today is wind shear. We don't really have a lot of wind shear, both directional, bulk shear. We don't have it today. And what that leads to is a built-in self-destruct button in a lot of these cells. These are ordinary cell thunderstorms, with a few of them becoming strong to severe. Ordinary cell thunderstorms, meaning that they pop up, they do their thing, and they dissipate. Typical lifespan of an ordinary cell thunderstorm is usually no longer than 30 minutes. Usually they're pretty short-lived. They pop up, they rain, they do their thing, and then they collapse in on themselves. They self-destruct, essentially. But this one here happened to go severe in Jefferson County, heading towards the China area. State Road 62, just to the east of US 421, moving towards the Canaan area, moving north-northeast at 25 miles per hour. This is extreme southern Indiana, just north of the Ohio River here. Have a couple special weather statements as well for some storms that have become strong but are not severe at this point in time. The other risk today across the state of Indiana, and this is not limited to southern Indiana, this goes for the entire state of Indiana, is heavy rainfall rates. We have a lot of moisture to work with here today. What we call plot values, precipitable water availability. How much water is the atmosphere able to hold on to today? Those values are quite high, right around $145 today. So what that means is these storms are going to be really heavy. Think Florida, tropical-like downpours associated with these showers and thunderstorms here today. You can feel it in the air. A lot of times we like to describe this air mass as you can cut it with a knife. It's really thick, it's heavy, and these thunderstorms are tapping into that. And we do have some flood advisories to talk about here across the state of Indiana while we are live here. This one here for 2 hours and 40 minutes yet. This is for a portion of south central Indiana for Washington County until 7 o'clock here tonight. Minor flooding on roadways and some ditches as well have been reported there across Washington County. And then northern Du Bois County, a flood advisory there also in effect for 2 hours and 54 minutes or until 7:15 p.m. here tonight. Wouldn't be surprised to see additional flood advisories issued here, or maybe perhaps the flash flood warning issued if we have any training showers and thunderstorms because of those heavy rainfall rates here expected across the state here today. We have one severe thunderstorm warning for Jefferson County, Indiana only, and this is for this cell right in here. If we turn on our hail tracker here on the right, there you see the pinks and purples there. That's your hail core just to the east of US 421 here, moving towards China, and the Canaan area moving north-northeast at 25 miles per hour. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana. We do have a confirmed report of quarter-size hail just north of Madison. So this storm is producing quarter-size hail, or 1-inch diameter. Quarter-size hail is the baseline for a severe thunderstorm warning in the United States. For a storm to be severe, we need quarter-size hail, 1-inch diameter, or winds of 58 miles per hour or greater. A lot of times you'll see 60 as a baseline on the warning tag, but it is actually 58 or greater, as well as quarter-size hail. This one here is quarter-size hail in 60, so it does have both. A lot of times when you get these heavier thunderstorms, they become waterlogged. They become really heavy. You get some heavy wet downbursts associated with these. Sometimes they're also called microbursts or wet microbursts, within these showers and thunderstorms as that updraft begins to collapse on itself. You get some what's called evaporative cooling taking place in the upper parts of the cloud, and that allows some cool, dense air to rapidly descend to the ground, and you can have some gusty winds as a result. So some gusty winds, quarter-size hail, all possible within this thunderstorm. Not over a very wide area, very localized area. Think east of US 421, moving towards the China area. So just north of Madison, between Madison and Canaan, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, all possible here. And we also have some other cells popping up in the vicinity here. We got Jefferson County, western Jefferson County over here near Lancaster, but also Switzerland County, southern Ohio County, getting in on some heavier downpours as well. These storms are not strong or not severe at the moment, but got maybe some pea-size hail and heavier downpours here in Switzerland County, just north of the Ohio River, State Road 56 vicinity there. This storm here may be showing signs of some weakening. It is starting to collapse a little bit, but we do have that confirmed report of quarter-size hail just north of Madison, which is 1 inch diameter. So this storm does have a history of producing quarter-size hail. Storms today are going to be pretty short-lived in nature. We don't expect this to be a very long live stream here today, and that's because these are popcorn storms. These are ordinary cell thunderstorms that typically have a lifespan no longer than 30 minutes. They pop up, they do their thing, and they dissipate. And that is largely because we have instability, we have moisture, and we have a sense of lift. We have a low-pressure system working its way through Indiana. But what we don't have out of the 4 main ingredients is wind shear. We don't have bulk shear, both in speed and directional shear, which is key in storm longevity. We need that for longer-lived storms to get that updraft tilted, and that allows it to not interfere with itself with rain-cooled air getting ingested in like we have here today. Because our updrafts are vertical, they're not tilted. These storms are sucking in the same fuel that they're sucking in their own exhaust. So it's a built-in self-destruct button on these thunderstorms here today for ordinary cell thunderstorms. They are when you have a tilted updraft in a severe thunderstorm, the storm is able to continuously feed on warm, moist, unstable air. But when you have a vertical updraft that's not tilted, it's not able to do that as easily. It gets caught up in its own downdraft, which is rain-cooled, stabilized air that it's ingesting in on itself, which that's why a lot of these storms have a lifespan of no more than 30 minutes on today's setup and other similar setups. So we don't expect this to be a widespread severe weather event, but we do have some strong storms here across Indiana. Looking across the state here, some scattered showers and storms here across northern Indiana. Decent cell here outside Lawrence, Indiana, northeast Indianapolis near the Greenfield area, north of I-70. Could have some pea-sized hail there in that one. And some other pop-up showers and thunderstorms across northern and central Indiana with our severe thunderstorm warning for Jefferson County and severe southern Indiana just to the east of Switzerland County here, which is east of US 421 between Madison and Canaan. Could have some quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. We do have a confirmed report just on the north side of Madison of quarter-size hail being reported on the ground. So this storm has a history of producing quarter-size hail, and could also have some downbursts in it as well, as this storm is showing signs of collapsing on itself. The updraft is shrinking, it's contracting. As it does so, you could get some evaporative cooling going on in the upper parts of the cloud, and that can bring down some heavy downbursts down to the ground in the form of heavy winds. Cold air is very dense, it's heavy, and anytime you get some evaporative cooling going on in the upper parts of the cloud, it can help pull some of that stronger wind down to the ground in the form of a wet microburst. So you could have some of that going on too today in some of these storms. Widespread severe weather, not expected today, but a few storms capable of producing small hail, generally up to about a ½ inch has been about the strongest most of these storms have gotten today, as well as 40-mile-per-hour winds. But this one here was able to get a little bit stronger than that, thus prompted the severe thunderstorm warning by the National Weather Service in Louisville, Indiana. This is their area of control here. This is their CWA here across southern Indiana, and they were the ones issuing the statements and warnings here today. So good job by Louisville catching that quarter-size hail and issuing the warning for Jefferson County. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat for me. I'll be happy to answer them here for you while we're on here live. Yep, and outside of the severe weather threat today, the other hazard here today with our showers and thunderstorms is the flood risk today. We have a lot of moisture for these storms to work with. Rainfall rates are exceedingly heavy, So we do have a lot of flood advisories here across the state of Indiana. Right now we have 3 of them. We have one for Washington County, Indiana, near the Salem area, in effect until 7 o'clock here tonight, 2 hours and 32 minutes. And then we have one for northern Du Bois County, just north of Jasper. Heavy rainfall occurred earlier this afternoon and trading showers and thunderstorms, in effect for 2 hours, 47 minutes, or until 7:15 here tonight. And a new one just got issued for the Bedford area, and areas just to the north. This is for Jackson, Lawrence, and Monroe counties in south central Indiana. Minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas is expected. Between 1 to 2 inches of rain has fallen, and additional rainfall amounts of up to a couple of inches are possible. This is until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or another 2 hours and 2 minutes. So heavy rainfall rates are occurring in these thunderstorms. Remember, turn around, don't drown if you come across areas of moving water. It only takes 6 inches of moving water to swipe an adult human off their feet, and only 18 inches of moving water to swiftly move your vehicle off the roadway and float your vehicle off the roadway as well. 6 inches of moving water for a person, and sometimes less than that, depending on the velocity of that water. So if you don't know how deep it is, don't turn around, don't drown, and seek an alternative route. It is rolly terrain down here across southern Indiana, so we could have some excessive rainfall. Anytime we get excessive rainfall, could have some ponding and excessive runoff on the sides of the roads here, especially in the gullies and valleys here across southern Indiana. Severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect for another 16 minutes here. Quarter-size hail and 60 miles per hour. This storm here seems to be on the downtrend, though. I'd be surprised if we were seeing some quarters still within that cell. A little bit of a stronger cell here, exiting Jefferson County, Indiana, moving towards the county line there near the Deputy area. Maybe some small hail in there, maybe P to perhaps maybe some dime-size hail in there. Sub-severe at this point in time, but it is a stronger cell, and not surprised to see that here. We do have some stronger cells popping up across the state of Indiana. We got one up here just outside of Lawrence, Indiana. Not a very large cell, only a couple miles wide, but heavy rainfall and maybe some pea-size hail just north of the I-70 area near the McCordsville area just northeast of Indianapolis. And another heavy downpour near Muncie, and a couple sporadic heavy downpours across the state of Indiana here today. And that's really as expected here today. This is all thanks to an area of low pressure that is meandering its way through the state of Indiana. This was down across the southern tier of the United States a couple days ago while we were sunny and warm, but that has since moved north and made its way into our vicinity, the lower Great Lakes region, Ohio Valley region, and that is why we are muggy today with scattered showers and thunderstorms. But you also may be asking, Caleb, why are these storms appear to be moving backwards on radar? Don't storms move typically west to east and not southeast and northwest? Well, typically, yeah. But when you're on the north side of an area of low pressure is in the northern hemisphere, spin counterclockwise. So you're in the north side of that low. Rain actually moves backwards. It moves east to west, and that is what we have here today across Indiana, thanks to our position in coincidence with the area of low pressure. So storm movement today is actually a little bit wonky. It is southeast to northwest today. Storms are moving out of the south and southeast towards the north and northwest today for most of Indiana. So kind of cool there. And we are back in all clear mode now. They went ahead and canceled that severe thunderstorm warning for the state of Indiana, as we are in the all clear. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in here. Stay on here for a couple more minutes here just to watch the cell exiting Jefferson County here. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them in. I'll try to answer them for you real quick before we hop off. And if we have another storm shortly get an attitude, we will jump back on here and we'll cover that warning from beginning to end here in Indiana. Widespread severe weather not expected today across the state of Indiana. However, there is a chance that a few of these storms could be strong to locally severe, briefly producing quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. However, the majority of the cells have been producing pea-size hail and briefly up to a half inch with about 30 to 40-mile-per-hour winds here today, which is pretty typical for the setup that we have here today. We have a lot of moisture to work with, a lot of heavy rain here in the state of Indiana. We do have several flood advisories here. Go ahead and cover those one more time here. We have this one here for Washington County near Salem, in effect until 7 o'clock here tonight. Northern Du Bois County until 7:15. And we also have Monroe County, Lawrence County, and Jackson County until 6:30 here tonight in South Central Indiana. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few more of those flood advisories pop up, as it may take a couple of hours for our drains and soils to absorb the rainfall. We call that soil percolation, the rate of which water gets absorbed into the soils and into our rivers. Sometimes they can't keep up when we have rainfall rates in excess of 1.5 to 2 inches per hour in our heavier downpours. So with that being said, I don't see any other questions on here, guys, so we're going to go ahead and pop out of here. And like I said, if any of these storms do happen to get an attitude once again, we'll pop back in here, and we will cover that from beginning to end if we do see another severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana here this afternoon. So with that being said, have a great afternoon. Stay dry if you can. And if you do run into any ponding or flooding, feel free to turn around, don't drown. Remember, 6 inches of moving water to swipe an adult person off their feet, and 18 inches of moving water to swiftly move your vehicle off the road. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. So be safe, and we'll see you next time.